Hello and welcome back to Football Manager 2020 with Newcastle United. We've gone a little bit further in the future than I perhaps anticipated. I'm not quite sure. We're basically all the way now, mid to late March. The 20th of March is when we're going to be playing Aston Villa. We've played a number of games in between episodes, and somehow we are 7th place and challenging for Europe. Challenging for 5th place, realistically. We're not going to get Champions League. Unless one of those teams win the Champions League, then does it go down to 5th? I don't know. Basically, that is now our target for the end of the season. It's 5th place, which is probably a bad thing. So in between episodes, we played 5 league games. I nearly said 4. 5 league games and 1 cup game. We beat Tottenham. I don't know how we did it. Arvin Appiah also missed a penalty as well. And we still won 2-1. Arvin Appiah and Matty Longstaff with the goals here. A 0-0 draw against Wolves, which actually was a good result. We always struggle against Wolves. So actually, I think we've had an unbeaten season against Wolves. We have a 2-0 victory earlier and a 0-0 draw in at Molineux. That's where they play. I think that's actually not terrible. They're not doing amazing in the league, but we always lose to them. Then we played Norwich, a team who I famously hate in this save. I don't hate them in real life, just in this save. They are my mortal enemy. We beat them 4-1. And the reason why we beat them 4-1 is because I changed my tactics to play a gegenpress. It was still the 3-2-1-2 or whatever it is called. I still never remember the name. But it was a gegenpress, so it was a little bit more attacking, I guess. I'm not quite sure, but we win this one 4-1. Guiri with 2 goals. Matthias Jakobsen also with 2 goals from the centre of midfield. Let's not talk too much about the FA Cup, shall we? A 2-2 draw during the 120 minutes, and then losing on penalties. Tosin and Monasterio with the goals for us. A 90th minute equaliser from Nicky Monasterio from the penalty spot. John Suter missing the vital penalty. Against Arsenal, for some reason I stopped playing the gegenpress, and I don't know why I did it. Because, we lose this one 1-0. William Saliba with the only goal. And against Chelsea, we go back to the gegenpress and we win 3-1. Jakobsen and Nicky Monasterio with the 2 goals here. Adrian Rabiot scored an absolute screamer, and I thought, well, that's that match over with. And then, 70th minute, all of a sudden, we turned into one of the best football teams in the world and put 3 goals past them. And you can tell how well we've been playing from the match reactions from the board. The West Brom game, which obviously was last episode, gets a C-. Not the best, but we got a draw despite having a player sent off. And then a victory, an A+, a 0-0 draw. This is what I mean. It was a good result, despite the fact that we didn't get the victory against Norwich. Another A+. Then the 2 matches where we lose, a C and a C-. And then another A+ against Chelsea. Things are going real well. Apparently, at some point, we also got our youth intake. I don't remember getting our youth intake, but apparently it's here. Nothing really to shout home about. Bobby Mills is arguably the best player there. He's not bad, is he? 1-star current ability, 4-star potential. I mean, pressing forward on defend is kind of what we need, isn't it? Or is it? We don't play that anymore because we're playing the gegenpress. Just have a quick rundown. This is Ronnie Gray, not amazing. Scott Headley, again, not amazing. He's got some things about him. Kelly Cabarrou, the best thing about him is probably his name, although mentally he's got some reasonable stats. Hamad Solomon, again, he looks alright. I'd say he's more of a central defender than a left-back. And Toby Taylor, a goalkeeper who, to be honest, I can never predict whether a good young goalkeeper is going to turn into a good adult goalkeeper. He might be amazing, he might be awful. Right, with that then, let's go forward to the Aston Villa game. I am on the Tuesday night for some reason. I don't know why I've stopped on the Tuesday night. I think maybe other people are playing on Tuesday, not quite sure. But we're going to go forward. Villa 19th. What am I talking about? Villa 17th place in the table. They are in a relegation battle. A victory for us could potentially move us up to 5th place if things go our way in the other matches that I assume are taking place tonight. I can't remember. Right then, it is the time for the Aston Villa game. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is Aston Villa, because Football Manager does things like this. Burnley played, I want to say Norwich, on the Tuesday night. They won their game, which moved them up into 5th place, and we are well behind them on goal difference. Unless we beat Villa by 5 or more goals, we're not going to be going up into 5th place. Spurs aren't playing today, so at least a draw will move us up. Not a draw, a win. We won't go ahead of either of them, will we? Because unless we win 5-0, we'll go ahead both, or we won't go ahead of any. Look, it's early in the morning, okay? I'm still trying to get my brain to work. Right, the starting lineup has been selected. Now I think I'm going to need to kind of explain what we're doing here a little bit. In goal is going to be Freddie Woodman, a back three of Tosin, Jakobsen and Johnny Panzo. Wing backs, Maury and Charles. That's fairly standard. This is where things kind of change it up a little bit. Matty Longstaff and Jamie Shackleton will be in the middle of the pitch. Longstaff playing as a central midfielder on support, and Shackleton as an advanced playmaker on attack. Then we have an Enganche with Jean-Pierre filling that role. Basically, Our attacking midfielder never does anything, so I've been trying him out as various roles. He's been a shadow striker, a trequartista, an enganche. The enganche seems to do the most. I'm basing that on nothing, so we're sticking with it again for the Aston Villa game. Strikers will be Gouiri and Nicolas Monasterio. Gouiri has changed from a pressing forward to a deep-lying forward. I don't know whether that's a good thing. Maybe a pressing might be better. Am I overthinking this? Should I be even doing this? No, we're leaving him. We're leaving him as a deep-lying forward. This is what we're going to go with. Just realised my bench is a little bit broken. We do need Joe Willock on the bench. There's a very good reason. No, we don't. No, we don't. No, we don't. I was going to say, the very good reason is because Machimori is not fully match fit. But we do have Batista Maya. So Batista Maya can be a wing-back. Joe Willock has played as a wing-back for a couple of matches, coming off the bench a few times. So he's versatile. £35 million. Well spent. It wasn't. It really wasn't. Come on, Football Manager. Show me that my new tactic worked perfectly well in the brand new public beta match engine, which, by the way, if you haven't got it, you should go get it, because I think there's improvements. I don't know when the full version's coming out, but I think it is better. I'm seeing less annoyances, basically. Mori with an early throw for us. Matt Target heads clear. Matty Longstaff, Aston collects it. Matthew Mori, lots of Matts with the ball. Crosses in. Dendonka clear. Nico Lopez for Villa. Lumps it upfield. Johnny Panzo heads down. Panzo, by the way, is wanted by Chelsea. Chelsea used to own Johnny Panzo back in the day. Marlon Charles runs down the left, crosses in low. Amin Gouiri with a slide tackle puts it in the back of the net. 3 minutes on the clock. We are 1-0 up against Aston Villa. And since the goal, not a lot has happened. Although I've just seen we had 2 shots, no shots on target, and we scored. Jean-Pierre with a free kick for Newcastle towards the back post. Monasterio is going to go for a volley. Jakobsen back to the free kick taker. Jean-Pierre goes for a very long effort. Pozovec makes the save. It's going to be a corner. Jean-Pierre goes over to take it. Jean-Pierre probably might be getting sold in the summer. Both my attacking midfielders, as I mentioned, don't seem to do a particularly good job. Tosin with the ball in the area, kicks it straight into Sandro, the former Everton man. I assume that's the former Everton Sandro. Runs down the left. Tosin makes up for his mistake with a great slide tackle to win the ball. Another corner for Jean-Pierre on the left. Towards the middle, header down from Dendonka. Nico Lopez gets it clear further, and Jack Grealish controls it, who still adds Aston Villa, which is a surprise. Charles all the way back to Freddie Woodman. Inside his own penalty area, slowly walking forward, fair enough. Tosin, Mori wants, Mori gets it. Now Matty Longstaff, I could see that pass coming a mile off. Mori with loads and loads of space if he can use it. He's running down that right-hand side, the former Borussia Dortmund man. Amin Gouiri in the penalty area. Tries to play it into Matty Longstaff, who scores an absolute rocket into the top corner. 20 minutes now played, 2-0 against Aston Villa. Now, I don't know whether this is because Villa aren't a particularly good team in this save, or whether my formation seems to work a lot better. I don't care. We're doing well. We're winning games. 3 more goals, 4 more goals maybe, and we might actually move up to 5th place. Well, it's not exactly been the most action-packed of games of football, has it? There's been about 3 or 4 highlights, and 2 of them have been goals. Charles heads forward, Jean-Pierre chests it down. Matty Longstaff, Mori's making a run. He finds Matthew Mori, who just about controls it, but doesn't actually keep hold of the ball. Matt Target now, the former Southampton man. Long ball toward Mason Greenwood of all players. Matty Longstaff back to Tosin, who plays it all the way back to Freddie Woodman, the England goalkeeper. Woodman, I say England goalkeeper like he's their number 1. He's not, he's like number 3. But he's got caps, so that means he's an England goalkeeper. What a ball that is from Shackleton, Nicky Monasterio. It's a little bit of a tight angle. The ball almost trickles across the line from the defender. Instead, he clears it. Well, at half-time then, it is 2-0 to the Magpies. It's just come up saying that, what's his name? Marlon Charles is absolutely shattered. So we might look at bringing off Marlon Charles early in the second half. I don't know whether he's just tired because he's been playing a lot of football or what, but we don't have any left-backs on the bench. I was hoping the half-time break might have actually seen like an increase in his fitness level. It hasn't. It's gone up to 68, so it's gone up by like 1 or 2. Monasterio's put the ball in the back of the net with a great header. He's tapping his bicep there like that was like a goal purely out of strength. I don't understand the celebration, but we're 3-0 up against Villa. Another highlight with Marlon Charles, who will be getting substituted very soon. Charles collects it. Tries to go around his man, gets tackled, keeps hold of the ball though. Good job, the youngster. Crosses in, Monasterio heads back. Jean-Pierre on the volley. The left-footed effort from the Brazilian is over the bar. Right, Charles is going to come off, but we've got no one really. Johan Mylard, there we go. He's not a wing-back, but if we look at Johan Mylard, by the way, he's played the majority of his football as a centre-back, but he's got 3 assists. This must be all from his time as a left wing-back. weirdly not. One of them was actually from central defence against Wolves. I'm probably going to look at bringing off Jean-Pierre for Omar at some point. I'm not quite sure when, but it might be fairly soon. It is. It's now. There we go. Well, I don't think we're going to do enough to swing the goal difference, but we've certainly done enough to swing the goal difference very much in our favour against some of the other teams. We've got a free kick. Omar takes it towards the back post. Tosin's header over the bar. I'm not quite sure how he managed to get that over the bar. He was so close to the goal. 5 minutes left to play. Mylard's throw to Shackleton. Mylard gets it back. Jamie Shackleton in the penalty area. Crosses it. Guiri's not going to get the header. Longstaff. Guiri. Machimori goes for a cross, I think. I think that was a shot. Honestly, Maury, that was a shot, wasn't it? Don't lie to me. Full time then at St James's Park, a 3-0 victory against Aston Villa. A very, very good performance. This is the type of performance we should be putting in, week out. I'm thinking with the new match engine and with the new Gegenpress formation, this could become a fairly common performance for us. I'm hoping, and it might mean that come the end of the season, we are qualifying for Europe. Which is something that I actually said earlier at the start of the save, I think, or start of the season. I don't want to qualify for Europe, but if we do it, I guess that's a good thing. So we do stay in 7th place, but there is now a little bit of daylight between us and 8th place, Bournemouth and Southampton down in 9th. I mean, they both have a game in hand, which means Southampton can go on to 46, Bournemouth can go on to 47, which obviously closes the gap right up. But we are starting to get clear. Obviously, we're not getting relegated now, are we? We're on 49 points. This is going to be arguably our best season. Our best season that we've ever had as Newcastle manager. You could say winning the Championship was a good season, but this is the Premier League. We might be qualifying for Europe. Also, Burnley in 5th. I mean, I just brushed over it earlier. Burnley are 5th. Burnley are one of the teams we're chasing. Chelsea are 13th. What's happened there? Just having a look at the match performance. They've gone for an A on this one. Since the match engine change, we're getting A pluses and A's all over the place. Yes, some C's, but those are matches where I've changed the formation. That is going to do it then for this episode. Next episode, I don't know where we're going to go, because I was planning on just jumping straight to the end of the season, but because we're kind of still in a fight, we'd probably need to show a little bit more football. Maybe we'll go Burnley. Maybe we go Burnley, because obviously Southampton not far away from us, Leeds, Everton, Liverpool top of the table. Do we do Liverpool? Do we do a top of the table clash? And just let's challenge ourselves. Let's expect a defeat in that episode. We'll challenge ourselves. We'll do Liverpool in the next episode. Then we'll do Burnley. Then we'll do Leicester. So it means today is Sunday. Today we're going to have the Liverpool match in the second episode. And then next week, when it rolls over to Friday, we'll have the Burnley and then the Leicester game on the Saturday. There you go. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Football Manager 2020 with Newcastle United. If you did enjoy, do remember to leave a like. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. And I'll be back later on today with a matchup against table-topping Liverpool. And oh my word, I've just seen how far ahead at the top of the table they are. That's insane. That is insane. They've probably won the league, haven't they? By the time they play us, they've probably won the league. Right, I'll see you in the next episode.